Welcome to today's video, where I would like to present to you a new potential use case for ChatGPT in project management. Now, if you're new to the channel, you might not have actually explored ChatGPT yet and what it can do for your day-to-day role. But if you are a subscriber, maybe you have seen some of my videos, you will already know that I'm actually plugging in different prompts into ChatGPT to speed up some of my tasks and also to create different artifacts so that, I don't have to build it out from scratch and just save myself some time. So today I would like to show you the latest artifact that I am building with this tool. Now, before I begin, I do just want to quickly mention that I am using the GPT-4 model, which, as you can see here, is the most advanced model. So what this means essentially is that the output that I'm going to get from the prompts that I put in are going to be of a superior quality. It is part of the paid plan, so I am on the subscriber plan. I think I'm paying $20 per month at the moment. And this is currently, only available to those users. So if you are using the free version, or if you want to sign up and don't want to pay this extra $20, then do consider you will be using the legacy version. Now, it's not to say that you're not going to get a good output. It's just, in my experience and having played around with this tool, it's just not quite as good. So just bear that in mind. But I would still absolutely recommend you heading over to ChatGPT and exploring this and trying different prompts, just because it will save you time and it does give you some ideas, if nothing else. So with that said, let's actually go into what I'm using ChatGPT for. And this time I've actually started to build change logs with ChatGPT. And I've found something out ahead of kind of recording this video. If you type in something like create a change log template. So if we put this in here, while it does provide it does have an understanding that it's kind of for a project, you'll notice that it's not really what we're looking for, or at least it's not what I would be looking for in a changelog template. I mean, there's some very, very useful stuff in here. For instance, there's section on new features, improvements. It's all very, very useful. It's stuff that you'd want to look at in any changelog. And it does give you some ideas of areas to explore if you haven't yet built a changelog. So it looks at things like bug fixes as an example. But this is not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to show you a different prompt, which with one simple addition changes it to exactly what we're looking for. So please create a project management changelog. I'll put template on the end as well. Now, the reason why I showed you that former one and then this one is I just want to show you the impact that certain words and terms have in ChatGPT. Oh, I did it in the 3.5. You would have noticed that's gone a little bit quicker. For some reason, ChatGPT 4 is a bit slower at the moment. And I could continue with that, but I'm going to go with ChatGPT 4 because I do, as I've said earlier, I do find it slightly more advanced. Well, it is more advanced. That's not me making that up. It is the most advanced model. So let's just plug that in again. And you'll see it's a little bit slower in terms of how it produces it. But let's see what actually happens this time. So it's given us an overview of what a changelog template is all about. So you could actually put this in the file itself. If you're creating this in Excel or a different document type, or maybe Word or whatever, you could bring this in to give anyone who opens it up some context. And what I like here is it's given us some descriptions of the different columns for first and foremost. And let's let it keep running. Let's see what happens. So my understanding is what this has done is these are the different columns, and these are what each column kind of is looking for in terms of the data. So what you could do is you could add this into, say, column A, this column B, column C, column D, etc. in Excel or whatever project management tool you're using, and then you could have this as a description. So if I quickly open Excel, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So what you could then do, oh sorry, wrong button. Right, what we could do is we could do something like Control C, go in here. We don't want to recover that. Let's get rid of that. Sorry. And then we're going to go paste and then match destination formatting. So this brings it all in as separate columns. Oh, no, it hasn't. Okay. What we could do, sorry. This might work. Is what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to bring this into Excel in the most, again, it's not the best. So let's see what happens. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so what I did is I press Control C and press Control V to get it into Excel. Now in a second sheet, I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna go into the second sheet, and I'm going to transpose. That's what I wanted to do. So now we've got them as column headings, and we could go in and we could kind of clean this up. So we could make this kind of do this. We could press bold, and then we could take all this out so that we end up with a column names. This is a long-winded way. I'm going to show you a different prompt. But what I was going to get to is that you could then use this information and add this as a description for each column. So you could press write, insert comment, and then whenever someone hovers over it, they can see the description of the column header. But that is obviously very long-winded. It's taken me quite a while to do that, and you're probably not saving much time. But it does give you ideas. You know, maybe you wouldn't have done that. Maybe if you're building a change log template from scratch, or you're using another resource online, you know, you might not have got a thought of adding this. So maybe that does have some benefit. But let me refine this to get to a place where we don't have to go through all that rigmarole. So let's go with, please create a project management change log template in tabular form. That should get what we're looking for. So hopefully ChatGPT is going to work this time. If it doesn't, we might have to ask it again. But let's have a look. There we go. That is what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what we, you know, if we just done this from the outset, then this would have saved a lot of time. But as I say, you're not going to get that. If we'd just done this one, first and foremost, we wouldn't have got this kind of perhaps idea to include these as the comments or column header. So, you know, you need to think of your users. You need to think of who's going to be using this change log. So I would recommend that you actually do include these descriptions. So, it's going to do it anyway, after all that. But let's just say we're going with this. So what I like about this is it's given us a couple of examples and of changes. It's given us a change ID column, which is obviously very, very good reference. It's given a change request date, who it's requested by, description of the change, an impact analysis, which is very, very important, priority, status, approval date, approved by, you get the picture. So really, really good. What you could do then is select all of this, press copy, go back into Excel, and what we want to do is paste. So you could keep the source formatting. I'm actually going to, because it's given us this kind of tabular view. And from here, you can change it further. So as an example, I don't think this looks particularly great. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to change the, let's change this to, no, don't like that either. Bit fussy. I'm going to change it to, let's go with, oh, that looks quite nice. We're going to go with Aharini. I'm going to put this out a little bit. I'm going to put this in white. Yeah, we'll put this in a little bit of a grey. We're going to box it. Let's box that. All I'm just trying to show you is how you can format it, essentially. We're going to put this in 12. We're going to put this in 10. And we don't want that bolded. So, yeah, you got the idea. I've quickly built... I think that's because of the... You know what? We might have to change font after all that. Let's just put it in Arial. So put it in Arial. You've got your... Essentially, you've got your changelog template. Then what we could then do, if we go back to ChatGPT, is it's given us these. We could add these as comments. Again, I lost where I am. So insert comment, put that in there. And then you've got, when you hover over, a description of what the column's all about. So that's brilliant. That's exactly what we're looking to get to. But I wanted to show you, there was one other thing I wanted to show you, and that is, so build that out. So that's how you get it into Excel. What I wanted to suggest is we could also ask it to make changes from this tabular view. So please include What I think's missing, as an example, is, you know, there's two things. Sorry, to jump back. If we go back here, what we would want to then do is then we could make a kind of a drop down for some of the columns. So as an example, you could build, if we get rid of these, let's get rid of these. You could either build a new sheet and you could say something like, we could go status and priority. So you could bring this in like this, and then you could say the priority is low, medium, high, and in the status, let's just go with open, work in progress. No, that's a poor. Pending, complete, closed. Let's just go with that. That makes sense. And then if we bring this out, and then if we go in here, what we could then do is we could add some conditional, no, what am I talking about? We want to add some data validation, and then we go list, and then we go source, and then we go bang, and then press OK. And then I want to remove the data validation from here. So I'm going to, because I don't want it to be on the column header. And then when we go down here, we have the options. So that's how you can use ChatGPT to bring it into Excel, and then also kind of add some data validation to kind of make this a workable document. Of course, the formatting is well off still. It still needs a lot of work. Why is that bold, for instance? We don't want that bold. So we wouldn't want any of this bold. Well, I wouldn't. You might. So that's great. That's how we got a changelog into Excel relatively quickly with a few hurdles along the way. Now, the last thing I want to quickly just mention is that what you can do is you can build upon your previous prompt. So please include a new column for risks, or risk of change. Let's call it risk of change. It doesn't even sound correct, but it's something that I'd want to kind of monitor in a changelog. So let's put risk of change. And what it's going to do is it's literally going to build that out. So what I'm trying to get to with this is ChatGPT is going to suggest the tabular form and the recommended columns. But you might have suggestions, you might have things you want to include which just aren't included by default. And you can do that. You can get those added with literally some extra prompts. So where's the risk of change? Oh, there you go. It's added it kind of where it thinks suitable. It's not at the end, which is great. It's somewhere that makes sense next to impact and priority. And there we go. And it's actually given us a description of what it means by risk of change. So an assessment of the risk associated with implementing the change, e.g. low, medium, high. This can be determined based on factors such as potential impact on other components, the complexity of the change, and the likelihood of introducing new issues. So that's how to build a changelog template in ChatGPT. It's how to export it out into Excel, and it also how to kind of refine it so you can get something that meets your needs. So I hope this video is useful. If it was, please hit the like button. That tells me I should continue recording videos like this. And do consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. If you head over to my channel, you'll be able to find all those playlists that I've kind of mentioned, including an entire one on using ChatGPT in project management and building out artifacts like this. But there are other playlists over there as well on project management methodology, artifact building in the likes of Excel or other tools, and also on different project management software as well. So all that said, I hope you have an excellent day.